Hey Libras, happy Easter and welcome to your Easter Renewal reading, where we'll take a peek at the energy that's surrounding you over this time period and what good things you can expect to come in. So before I get into the oracle cards, there was a message that came through pretty strongly for some of my Libras out there. And that message was you need to start taking better care of yourself. It feels like for a lot of you, you haven't been sleeping very well. You haven't been eating very well. You feel very tired and run down. And I think that that's also making you sort of procrastinate on other things that you might want to do in your lives. But there's this sense that you fell back from self-care, that, maybe your eyebrows go a little bit longer, you don't work out the way that you used to, you don't eat the way that you used to, it's like you're sort of letting things lapse. And so the message that came through was to take care of yourselves. So with that being said, getting into some oracle cards for the energy that's surrounding you, we start with Oracle Library. And let's pull another. What else is happening with my Libra collective for their Easter reading? And what we have out is envy. So this is interesting. I feel like there was another sign that either got this combination or something very similar to it. But what this feels like with the Oracle Library, this is sort of lessons learned over time. It's the story of our cosmic lives, if you will. But this is sort of the almost like the Akashic records, right? Where the story of your lifetimes are kept. And put this up to the envy card, and we'll get into some tarot to see what other messages there are for you. But it feels as though there's a sense of lacking that has followed you throughout your timelines. And in this life that we're in now, Libra, it feels like there is a sense that you have where it's okay, but I should have this. And why don't I have this? And then also looking at other people, kind of questioning why they have it or how they were able to get something or how they were able to do something. And for a lot of you out there, I don't see this as being a feeling that stops you in your everyday life. If nothing else, it feels quite motivating. But there's this sense that you're missing something, that there's something that you should have, something that you rightfully deserve that you do not have yet. So, and there's a bit of frustration in terms of how you can get there. So let's get into some tarot and see what other messages are here from my Libra collective, starting out with the energy that you're birthing right now. And we have the King of Water or the King of Cups in reverse. Libra, it feels as though you are fairly closed off when it comes to interactions with other people. It doesn't mean that you're cold towards them. It doesn't mean that you're unfriendly by any stretch of the imagination, but it just doesn't feel like there's the desire to create these sort of deep relationships. You're pretty self-sufficient is what it seems like right now, that you're pretty happy in your life, that there's not a ton of stress that you're under right now. And it's kind of like, yeah, I'd like to keep it that way. It's a sense of fighting very hard to get to an emotionally, not just stable, but emotionally good place in life. And you've managed to achieve that. So it's like, yeah, life is good. I don't have any issues here. Like, what's the problem? And I feel as though that may be a little bit of a defense mechanism where you sort of closed yourself off to deep relationships with others. And as long as you can keep them at sort of an arm's length, then everything is good. Life is happy. We're okay over here. So the ideas that are starting to crack for you in this Easter season, we have the King of Fire and we also have the Three of Fire. I think that at times, Libra, you wonder what it would be like to have those sort of deep relationships. And it's like you have pleasant interactions with people, but there are very few, I think, that you have around you that are, like that. They're your ace, right? They're your person. It doesn't feel like you really have that. And so I think the ideas that are starting to come into you is, what would that be like if I put myself out there a little bit more? Because Libra, I think that people like you. They find you interesting, they find you fun, they find you, a generally happy person. They just don't know a whole lot about you. And so I think that every now and again, there may be a part of you, for as content and comfortable and happy as you are right now, what would it be like to have that very, very close circle, you know, even if it's just one or two people? And so I think that these ideas, it's like, well, what would that look like if I, put myself out there a little bit more, if I shared a little bit more about myself, what would happen then? Would this get even better? Now, looking at the what you should sort of focus on in terms of growing, we have the Four of Cups, or the Four of Water, clarified with the Eight of Wands. And so both of them in reverse. So with the Four of Cups, this is about someone who's kind of bored. They kind of discard things, especially when it comes to emotions. They just kind of flick it off the edge of the building ledge and let it fall where it may. But the one thing that this person doesn't realize is that there are other cups that are sitting there that are like, okay, well, you didn't like that cup. You'll like us. It's okay. It's all good. And so I think that focusing on the good that you have in front of you might, outside of the people who may have caused you some level of hurt, some level of harm, don't focus on them. Focus on the three cups that are there, and don't be so quick to not try and get to know people. And with the Eight of Fire, this is taking things slow. So Libras, nobody's saying that you should rush out and just, start being overwhelming and give 200% and tell everybody your deepest, darkest secrets within 5 minutes of meeting them. It's more of a process, slowly opening up, getting to know them, allowing them to get to know you. And it feels as though that's going to start feeling a little bit of this energy. Because I think that sometimes, Libra, you look at other people and it's like, well, how have they had this friend for 50 years? How do they have this person in their life that they call a brother or a sister? And why haven't I been able to have that? So I think that slowly opening yourself up over time and focusing on that is going to be super important if this is something that you want in your life. Now, what's coming your way? We have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and we also have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So I think that this is going to be a very, very slow haul for my Libras out there. I think that initially, you sort of coming out of your shell and opening up and allowing others to open up to you is going to be a very sort of off-putting process. I feel like it's not going to be a natural thing for my Libras out there to become a little bit more vulnerable and to share a little bit more about themselves, particularly given some of the experiences that you've had in the past. So I think that in the foreseeable future, this process is going to feel very uncomfortable. It's going to throw you off balance a little bit, but it'll even out over time, Libra. It'll get better, I promise. Now, how to get through these challenges? We're starting out with the Sun. And I think that this is a reminder of what we looked like when we were little, when we were innocent, where the feelings were very pure, right? And we didn't necessarily, at first, have issues opening up to and talking to people and things like that. So I feel like Spirit is saying that right now, Libra, you should, to get through these challenges, if it's a little bit rough, keep pushing and remember what it was like when everything was new, when there was a ton of potential and nothing but excitement. We also have the King of Air, or the King of Swords in reverse, clarified by the Hierophant. And I feel with these cards, Spirit is just saying, you know what? Just be true to yourself, especially with the Hierophant. Do things in a way that makes you comfortable. And remember, Libra, your words can be a little bit vicious at times. So I also feel like with the King of Swords, Spirit is saying to sort of temper what you say and how you approach people, as you want to get to know them better and maybe allow them to get to know you a little bit better as well. So if you're real sarcastic, you might just want to dial it back a little bit, Libra. It's okay. Like, people are going to enjoy you, but you gotta sort of ease them into it. Can't give it to them all at once. So we have a couple of more messages from Spirit from you. The first is, when I'm in a state of appreciation, I'm in vibrational alignment with my true love nature. And we also have, I trust that my powerful intentions combined with my faith are enough to allow my vision to become my reality. So if you ever have this sense, Libra, where you're feeling a little bit left out, you're feeling a little bit left behind, that other people may have these relationships that you are looking for, keep manifesting, keep affirming it to yourself, and know that the right people are going to come into your life at the right time. And from there, you can begin to build and grow a relationship with them if they show you that they are worth investing that time and energy in. And so making sure that you think the best and not maybe about people who have hurt you in the past. That's the energy that you're going to keep drawing in, as like cliche as it sounds. Your energy does largely dictate who comes into your life, right? Or if anybody comes into your life. Now, from there, you get to have the discernment to be able to sort out who stays in your life. That's entirely up to you. But if these types of relationships are what you want to have, hold on to that feeling. Hold on to that excitement of when you were a child and meeting other kids for the first time. There's no reason to feel any type of way about anybody else who has what you aspire to. You can have it as well. Just need to move in the right direction. So that's what I got for my Libras. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.